And welcome back to the week of Who Would Win. Today's Who Would Win comes to us from, and I want to see if I remember this name right, Izadi Afesato? Okay, maybe I'm butchering this name already. I know it's Izadi Efesator, or parentheses, note black Aguma, or note better Aguma. Interesting name. And you asked the question, who will win a fight? Thanos, the Mad Titan himself, versus the baddest demon in the land, Trigon from DC Universe. So, let's get the question out of the way. In a scenario where Thanos has the Infinity Gauntlet against Trigon, yes, Trigon would lose that fight. And I say that because for all Trigon's power, and Trigon is very powerful. Very powerful. I'm not saying whether or not he wins the fight against the base form Thanos, but at least not at this moment. But Trigon is extremely powerful. But he's not a being who is capable of literally wiping out all of existence with the flick of his fingers, or snap of his finger. He's not that powerful. Whereas the Infinity Gauntlet is that powerful. It wiped out half the life of the universe like that. And unlike in the MCU, where that task seemed to be extremely taxing on the user, no, Thanos can just keep, he can make him, he can turn, he can snap his fingers, do a little West Side Story there. When you're a jet, and just keep wiping out the universe if he want. He could, in theory, have erased pretty much the universe if he wanted to. Now, fortunately, like the cosmic entities, like Eternity, like Infinity, they did kind of get in the way a little bit of him possibly going down that route. And individuals like the Living Tribunal or the One Above All are equal to, if not stronger than the Infinity Gauntlet. But no, Trigon is not a being who is that powerful. Although he has reality warping power, so he could be resistant to some degree to the Infinity Gauntlet, but he would not be able to beat the Infinity Gauntlet in a fight. But because of that, we got to look at actual Thanos himself versus Trigon. So Trigon, if I remember Trigon's backstory correctly, and I'm going to get up here right now just to be safe. If I remember correctly, Trigon actually did not start out as a demon. If I remember correctly, and again, I'm getting up right now. He is a powerful demon spawned from the dark. Okay, his history came into being hundreds upon hundreds of years ago. Really? That he's actually pretty young for a demon. Of course, then again, I am looking at New Earth Trigon. Let me see if the Prime Earth Trigon is any different. Actually, he is different. This version, oh God, Gluttony, son of Trigon. Never mind. Yeah, no, never. Oh no, I clicked on the wrong thing there. Okay, Prime Earth Trigon. Now his backstory is different, so I guess it does really depend on the version of Trigon you're looking at, because this version of Trigon was originally the ruler of an unknown alien planet. Eventually, 3 powerful aliens known as the Divine came to his planet and after to cleanse his soul of evil. The Divine summoned the great heart of darkness to feast on his soul. However, Trigon was able to absorb the power and, in essence, became a powerful demon through that process. So it really all depends on which version of Trigon you look at, but the version, in terms of his origin, but his power set generally remains the same. His demonic physiology means he doesn't need to eat, breathe, or sleep if he doesn't want to. He has dimensional traveling capabilities, flight, illusion casting, immortality. As I said, he does not age like mortals. He is stated to have been existing since the dawn of time, before the Big Bang. That makes him at least 13.7 billion years old, and he still hasn't aged past his prime. And vulnerability. Trigon is nigh unaffected by all forms of conventional bodily harm. He is completely unaffected by the punches of Superboy and Wonder Girl, as well as light constructs of Bunker. Superboy expressed that hitting Trigon felt as effective as trying to destroy a mountain with a teaspoon. However, his skin has been pierced by the unique razor-sharp glider of Red Robin. So that implies several things. One, if you want someone to deal like blunt force trauma damage to him, you need a heavy hitter. Because let's be honest, Superboy and Wonder Girl are not heavy hitters. Wonder. Yeah, I had to say Wonder Girl. I thought I said Wonder Boy. No, they're not heavy hitters of the DC universe. You need a Superman. You need a Wonder Woman. You need a Martian Manhunter. You need a Darkseid. You need those guys to be able to actually do it bodily damage to him if they're going to hit. And even that's no guarantee because his demon physiology probably means he has magical resistance against a lot of conventional weaponry. But at the same time, his skin was pierced again by the unique razor-sharp glider of Red Robin. So that implies that his skin might be like just could survive, withstand blunt force trauma, but cutting weapons are probably a stronger vulnerability of him. That being said, you're not going to get like a battering just cutting him willy-nilly. You're going to need still some serious weaponry. He's also not immune to magic per se. I mean, he's magical. It's all right because he's a demon. But he's not immune to magic or anything like that per se. Metamorphosis. He's able to basically alter his appearance at will if he wants to. Molecular reconstruction. He can manipulate matter on a molecular level. He's capable of using this power to disintegrate the three divine and restructure their flesh into a cloth that he wears. That's right, I forgot. This version wears basically the skin of dead aliens around him. And disintegration. So, yeah, that's pretty hacked. But we're not done yet. Mind control. He has basically, he can possess anyone he feels necessary for his plots. I mean, strong enough willpower, all that stuff will counteract that ability. So take that for what that's worth. Pyrokinesis can manipulate hellfire, which burns your soul. Doesn't just burn your body, though it can burn your body. Summoning, he's capable of summoning women from other planets to use to mate with. So, yay, I have summoned a woman, Thanos. Look, would you care to do her and not fight me? I'd care. Not really, I'm holding myself out for Lady Death, so what are you going to do? Superhuman reflexes, super strength. He can push buildings and tear streets apart with ease. Telekinesis can mentally manipulate objects with his mind. And telepathy, he's able to gaze into the minds of mortals. He can learn entire personal history by reading their mind. He did the Kid Flash and Wonder Girl. He usually reads his opponent's minds to learn how he can manipulate them. He's a skilled deception, leadership, seduction, swordsmanship, and equestrianism, which I believe is horseback riding. Yep. Oh, no, wait, hold on. I might have mispronounced that. Equestrianism. Yeah. Horseback riding. Yeah, no, Trigon's studied horseback. He's good at horseback riding. Who knew? I'd love to see him, just the giant version of him riding this giant demonic alien horse. That'd be pretty fun. Has that ever happened? I mean, I'm a little behind in my Titans and Titans rating, and he is mostly a villain of more like the Titans because of his connection to Raven. But has that ever happened? Has he ever ridden like a giant demonic horse in the battle? Let me know if he has. That'd be pretty sick. But obviously, then we go into Thanos, the Mad Titan himself. Thanos was he's a progenitor of the second colony of Eternals. He isn't on Titan, so he is an Eternal. But he is actually born with the Deviant syndrome, which is, in essence, it makes him a mutant. And I like this picture. Baby infant Thanos with cosmic Ghost Rider. Aww. So, yeah, he's actually a mutant. As a kid, he was actually a pacifist, but he had a weird fascination with death. A death eventually appeared before him as a young girl, and he ultimately learned who she was and fell in love with her and wanted to please her and all that. So, death has always been a huge attribute. He's always annihilated life just for his own means, not even to appease death, but ultimately that was one of the think words here. That was one of the words. Big things about his character for the longest time. He was in love with death. So, I mean, as far as we know, like I'm reading like most current comic runs of him. As far as we know, he is currently dead, but let's be honest, that could mean jack shit. Let's be honest, it's Thanos. He'll always come back. He is by far the strongest and most powerful Titan Eternal. Thanos is a superhuman mutant whose massive, heavy body form was born with the capacity of synthesizing cosmic energy for certain personal use. It increases by his bionic capabilities and mystical enhancement, and as a result of being resurrected by death itself. He's deemed a Category 1 life ender by the Nova Corps to have a universal level threat. Keep that Trigon's a universal level threat too, but in different means. But yes, he is considered a cosmic level threat, a universal level threat. He is that dangerous. Just going by his sheer strength alone, he is capable of fighting Thor, even with when he had the power gem. And that's Thor with the power gem, which has all the power, that is energy, physical strength, durability, you name it, in the universe that has ever, currently exists, and will ever exist. That is the Power Stone, and he fought equally with that with Thor. His strength is so vast that he can defeat individuals like the Surfer and punch away an attacking Hulk, physically subduing with ease Beta Ray Bill and Ronan the Accuser, as well as casually breaking apart the latter's universal weapon. And most impressively, wrestled with the mighty Tyrant, although only being additionally empowered by external power sources. He has been able to beat the melee fight with the Hulk. Yeah, let me try that sentence again. He was also able to beat, in a melee fight, the Hulk, power-enhanced Annihilus. And Thanos has also augmented his strength with cosmic energy when needed. He can also lift Galactus' engine and recover from the depths of Ego the Living Planet. Like, the dude's strength feats are kind of off the charts. And when you talk about, like, heavy physical hitters, you always talk about the Hulk. Thor, Sentry, Juggernaut, Hercules, but Thanos can pretty much whip most of these guys. So Thanos' physical strength alone is ridiculous. Superhuman speed. He's not a speedster, but he can actually keep up with a lot of fast-moving characters, including Silver Surfer. Superhuman stamina. He does not tire. 9 vulnerability. Before his death, he possessed an impressive degree of resilience to physical injury, even compared to other Eternals. After his resurrection, he increased his ability to resist injury to a much greater degree, and is nigh invulnerable. He withstood a point. I always like I always like to bring up the Black Bolt one. He withstood a point-blank range blast, planet-destroying attacks without any harm, including omnidirectional blasts from Galactus and 3 point-blank shots to the face from Black Bolt, who can destroy a planet just by screaming. And at best, he had a bloody nose. He withstood a battering from an enraged power gem wielding Thor with nothing more than a bloody nose as well. He possessed an incredible resilience to injury, shown again taking blasts from both Odin and point-blank blasts from Odin and Galactus, both of whom are universal in power. Thanos has withstood 3 full screams from Black Bolt, 1 at point-blank range without any significant damage. He survived being subjected to a black hole, and even withstood being stabbed in the chest by Wolverine's adamantium claws without exhibiting any discomfort. Mind you, he had the Infinity Gauntlet with that scenario, but still. Thanos is also immortal in the sense that he does not age or anything like that. He can be killed, he just can't die. If that sentence made any sense, but you know what I mean by that. Regenerative healing factor. He possesses extreme healing factor. He's capable of regenerating damaged tissue with much greater speed and efficiency than a human. His healing powers aren't as developed as those of some Eternals. Some Eternals are capable of regenerating any destroyed tissue. Given the circumstances of his death at the hands of Drax, he's unable to regenerate missing organs, probably. He's very agile, super reflexes. He's also a genius. He's a scientific genius. He's conniving. He is masterful. He's also skilled in unarmed combat. He has knowledge of mystic arts. He can cast curse, which is why he cursed Deadpool to not die. He is actually capable of flight. Which is interesting. That's something recently he's been able to do. Teleportation. He can teleport across unknown distances, though through his link to his techno-mystical transport chair, like how it's called. Matter manipulation through cosmic energy. He has demonstrated some ability to manipulate the atomic structure of things. Energy manipulation and control. It's one of his greatest techniques, quite frankly. He can just absorb pretty much any energy that comes at him, as long as he's, aware it's coming at him, and, throw it back at the opponent. Thanos is first off, he's one of my favorite Marvel villains. I mean, I don't know if he'd be my favorite Marvel villain. I really have to think on that, but he's definitely one of them. Thanos is just all around badass. So the question becomes, if you talk about Old Man Thanos one-shotted Galactus. And he wasn't even at his strongest at that point. And then young Thanos came back and killed him. So I'm like, what the deal with it, man? What's the deal with that? But if these two met in combat, in the scenario where the Infinity Gauntlet wouldn't work, so let's just throw it in DC Universe. And by the way, just a comment real quick. I've occasionally had some, I don't know if it's the same person every time it says it, but I've had one or two people saying, well, if you put them in this universe, they have to abide by the laws of this. It happens anytime I do a what if or versus with a Z fighter from Dragon Ball Z. It's well, this is not how the energy works here. I mean, because of this, laws of the universe, you took them in this is where the fight took place. Yeah, look, that's not how these fights go down. We have to give them all of the abilities they have for this fight to work. I'm just setting up the scenario in which the fight happens. And let's be honest, the science doesn't really negate most of the abilities in a lot of those fights. Anyway, so if these two met in combat, what happened? Well, they both definitely would be at each other's throat because they don't want the other one to, usurp their gain. So they would be trying hard to take down the other, certainly. The biggest problem I see here, the biggest problem I see with this fight is that there really isn't much that Trigon brings to the table that Thanos wouldn't be able to handle. Because Thanos' durability is enough that he has survived reality manipulation. He has survived molecular manipulation. He has survived all of those and come out on top. Energy blast. Thanos can do that. Hellfire. Thanos gets off on that shit. He's you kidding me? He's not gonna. He's oh yeah, give it to me. He's that's gonna really be Thanos. Super strength. The strength contest is different. They can go toe to toe with the strength stuff. From what I know of Trigon, he's not a fighter in that sense, though. He will get his hands dirty. That would probably go closer to Darkseid, Thanos' table. But reality warping, molecular manipulation, Thanos has enough control over that he would probably be able to avoid it. Possession, Thanos is not being possessed. He's not. Trigon's gonna have his hands while trying to control this guy. So it comes down to it. Who's gonna basically be taking down who? They'll be trading blows for a long time. Thanos, I think, does have a strength advantage though, and those hits. I think those would be hits Trigon actually feels, but it's not doing a lot of damage. Thanos isn't dumb, however, and realizes this. So instead he decides to change tactics using energy manipulation, taking the Hellfire, just converting it to cosmic energy. I do believe cosmic energy would hurt Trigon. Definitely it would hurt Trigon. He's not invulnerable. Furthermore, with Vegeta's abilities to use magic and science, he probably has tech that could hurt him as well. Energy blast, blast of mystical energy, possibly putting a curse on him of some kind. Now, that's not to say Trigon isn't able to counter at least some of this. He can probably regenerate from damage done to certain degrees. I don't know if he's able to just offset a curse. That one I don't know if he can do. But these two would be probably clashing for a while. Trigon would probably actually be getting worried about this because Thanos just keeps coming, and nothing that Trigon would be throwing at Thanos would be putting him down. Thanos might be a little worse for wear, but he's still fine ultimately. It's made all that for a drop of blood. It's one of those scenarios, and Trigon tries to get into his mind, but Thanos really, you really. Because his mind's invulnerable to most forms of psychic attacks. It's you really want to go there, huh, big man? Fine. You want to be inside my mind? Let's have some fun. And then Trigon's get me out, get me out, get me out. And so it's damn it, what are you? So I am Thanos. Thanos is all. I'm using Thanos from oddly enough, Death Battle. I am Thanos. Thanos is all. And you are nothing more than a silly little demon pretending to be God. It's I am a god. I am Trigon. I rend this universe to its last atom. And, Trigon at this point is just pissed. Reality, whatever he can throw at Thanos, he's throwing. Thanos, though, just teleports behind him and actually gets inside of his head. Now, that's not to say that Trigon is easy to control. In fact, I don't think he'd be able to really control him either. But it's not so much to control him as to distract him, as he's then using his own abilities to basically break him down, basically using matter manipulation and control, using cosmic energy. He's starting to just tear Trigon apart on the atomic level. He turned the scroll scrag into stone. He also used mana manipulation ability on Moondragon to purge the muscle controlling parasites implanted by Nihilus from her body. Like, it's whatever his level of control is, it's pretty freaking high. Anyone who can actually manipulate matter is already a serious threat, because matter manipulation is no joke. And Trigon's like, you think that you're not the only one who can do that, Purple Man. And he sees it. So tearing you apart molecule by molecule won't work. Let's go for something different then. As he basically just kind of attacks his mind again, this time like having him relive everything he's done. Most of it like Trigon doesn't regret, but just replaying it over and over again, like every horror that he's seen, the things that freak Trigon out. That's what Thanos is actually like aiming for and finding. The question is there anything that actually freaks Trigon out? Well, I actually think there would be something that gets under Trigon's skin, and it would be Raven, his daughter, who basically has beaten them before. His defeats to mortals, all of that. That is the things that would start to drive him, because stop it, I am Trigon. You are nothing. You're nothing more than a floating hunk of rock. And basically just focuses and then basically gone. Like Trigon is dead. He's a stone statue just floating through space. At minimum, at best he's dead. At worst, he's now trapped in his body and just reliving that. Because Thanos could probably do a curse or some sort of magic that would keep him in a loop like that. You may still be alive somehow. And he starts breaking off the lens, throwing him into different parts of the universe just like that. He's just floating around, a head, a torso, a leg, a hand. Like he's just floating through everything. Some of it burning up in the sun and stuff in certain areas. All the while him just floating and saying, so live with that pain. Live with the pain of knowing that you lost to mortals. Well, I claimed this universe for Thanos. And then all of a sudden, a portal opens up. I believe you. I believe we have. What would be the line Darkseid would say? Darkseid just pops out and puts I believe we have conflicting goals. I believe we're going to have some conflict, Thanos, the Mad Titan. And then they square off, and Thanos, at least by Death Bell's equivalent, loses. And honestly, I can understand it. I still argue the whole Infinity Gauntlet thing, though. I think the Infinity Gauntlet could have beaten Darkseid. But yeah, that's just my opinion. No, I do understand that once he took it out, once Thanos went into the place where Darkseid actually is, he'd lost that fight. Because of the Infinity. I completely understand that. Though I still argue that he might have been able to beat the real version of Darkseid. So I don't know. Because for God's sake, Superman beat him by singing. Yeah, I think Thanos should have been able to do more than what he did in that fight. I digress. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review at some point. Hit that bell for notifications. Did you agree with this fight? Did you disagree? Let me know in the comments below as well. Until then, thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. It's the week of who would win. And luckily, because of the holiday, I get an extra day off this week. So tomorrow I actually have the day off. So I'll just do my videos like normal, pre-record Wednesdays. Be all good. Till then, see you later, folks.